This building, for example, that we're in today, it started with a foundation. A strong foundation acts as a safety net and often starts with a clear purpose. The foundation evolves in the context of business and extends to interpersonal connections by communicating and establishing trust. Having resources, which the Sankey Center is a resource, the NAACP is a resource, the public library is a resource. I just learned of the program Oneness. Those are all resources that are here in the community of Newcastle, and they are essential. In March of 2023, I'll share something personal. A storm blew through Mercer County, and my home was in the path, right in the pathway. And Mr. Vincent Wise sang a song that often speaks to my soul about being anchored in the Lord. And even though storms may blow and they may rise, you know, my house was shaking. A huge tree fell on it, but it was built with a solid foundation, so it was able to withstand that storm. Did it endure damage? Yes, it did. Did it take a long time for me to repair the damage? Yes, it did. It took about 7 or 8 months, but my house is back, and all of the reconstruction and everything has been reconfigured, but it's still standing on that solid foundation. It took me a while to gather my thoughts about what I wanted to speak to this community about, because I am a lifelong resident of Farrell and spent all of my career there, but also my mother formerly pastored down here in Newcastle for 17 years. So it's amazing how things come full circle. And when I come into places in Newcastle, I see familiar people that I know just because, you know, of the ministry. I think my phone kind of like timed out. Wind came through to blow those houses down. The one character who used intelligence in his character to build his house remained standing. The foundation wasn't shaken. But the other ones, they kind of took the easy way out, and they didn't want to put in the work. We can't take the easy way out when it comes to educating our children. We have to start with a solid foundation, and that starts at birth. They continuously learn and grow, but we have to lead by example to ensure that our children have a strong, solid foundation. Although we were exposed to this fable as children, there's a strong message that applies today, a strong foundation. We must build the minds of our children on a strong foundation, spiritually, academically, socially, and emotionally. We must be present. First and foremost, we have to be present. We must supervise, we must engage, expose, and we have to discipline. Although that story is for school-age children, the concept continues to follow us all throughout our lives. If we build a strong foundation, rooted in faith, you can succeed. The storm, again, they may come, winds may blow. You see some of those trees and they go back and forth, but they still remain standing. Obviously, the tree that was in front of my house didn't have a strong foundation because it went down. It went down, okay? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. graduated from Washington High School. As a gifted scholar, he skipped grades 9 and 12. And this is where I'm getting into the part how we can all tie this together and the purpose of us being here today to celebrate and to commemorate him, because he had a strong foundation. As a gifted scholar, he skipped grades 9 and 10, and he enrolled at Morehouse College during his junior year in 1944. In 1947, at the age of 18, he published an op-ed in the college newspaper titled "The Purpose of Education." Dr. King stated, and I quote, "If we want a better life and a better world, the path requires love and light. Intelligence," this is my favorite part, "intelligence plus character. That is the true goal of education. Intelligence plus character," end quote. When we are laying the foundation for our children, we are helping them to develop their character, which, in my opinion, that's the foundation. We have to make sure that our children are well-rounded, and it starts with the character. And then exposure, exposing them to the different resources in our communities. There's a lot of resources that I am learning, which I knew some of them, that are here in Newcastle. We have to partner together. Building something alone will take you a very long time. But when you have a partnership or someone else that will help you build, then you can make it even stronger. And that's exactly what we have to do. We have to make our partnerships stronger in the community, connected with the school, so that we will be able to help these children to succeed in life. Dr. King then began to build upon his solid foundation. He taught, he taught, he led, he marched, he inspired, he organized, he promoted, he articulated, he educated, amongst so many other things. He did this all in a peaceful, nonviolent manner. He used his intelligence, and he also used his character. When we build the character of our children by instilling in them that failure is not an option, regular attendance at school is not an option. My grandmother used to tell my cousins and I, if you're sick, go to school, and if you're really not sick, the school nurse will send you home. Most of the time, the school nurse did not send us home. We were in school, but she was an advocate for making sure that we went to school. I didn't have the option with her and my mother of not going to college. The only choice I had was, where are you going to college at? Now, college is not for everyone. But learning skills, life skills, we need electricians, carpenters. I love that when Dr. Martin Luther King said, if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper that you can possibly be. I taught my son at a young age, don't do it. Don't do half the job. And you have to go back, and you have to do it all over again. Do it right the first time. Even if you make a mistake, but roll up your sleeves. Put some elbow grease into it. And we have to continue to instill that in our children. It wasn't by accident that I gained employment here at Newcastle Area School District. And I'm really grateful to be standing here before you today. Have you ever heard the saying, tell God your plans? And what happens? He'll laugh. Well, he laughed at my plans. He laughed at my plans because I thought that I would retire from Farrell Area School District, especially after servicing that community for 27 years. My granddaughter is in kindergarten there, and she's the apple of my eye. But God had other plans for me. And throughout my transition from Farrell to Newcastle, I realized that my work was complete at Farrell. My work now is here in Newcastle. I'm rooted here in Newcastle. I am invested here at Newcastle. So I want to help to lay a strong foundation. The students that I primarily service are in grades 6, 7, and 8. It's never too late. It's never too late. I hold my head up high, and I have to let them know. I tell them all the time, go and be great. Do you know the people that marched, got beat, in prison, that died for the right so that all children could go to public education together and not be separated? Dr. Martin Luther King had a strong foundation that was rooted in God, and the greatest civil rights activist and political philanthropist in the civil rights movement for the advancement of all. It wasn't just for blacks. It wasn't just for whites. It wasn't just for Hispanics. It wasn't just for Asians. It was for all. He stood for one race, I believe, the human race. And that's each and every one of us. He stood for all of us. All of us. So that no one would be left behind. Someone may get out of line, but it's our job to wrap our arms around them, pick them up when their foundation is shaken, and help them to rebuild. I'm honored and grateful, as I stated earlier, to be here with you today to celebrate this occasion. He deserves this, but so does the soldiers that were in his army. Everyone can't lead. Everyone shouldn't lead, but you can't have a whole bunch of leaders and not enough Indians in your or army men in your army. Can't have all the chiefs. You gotta have some that are in the background. You know, you gotta have some that were somebody who set all this up. President Lawrence, he may be the leader of the NAACP, but he can't lead by himself. I may be the junior high principal up there, but I can't lead by myself. I need my assistants. I need my secretarial staff. I need my teachers. I need the students. And most importantly, we need the families. We need the families. We need the families. In closing, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. I'm looking forward to building a strong, solid foundation with the NAACP and the other community resources here in this wonderful, beautiful, loving city of Newcastle. Thank you.